Hello, I am Brian Ricardo Munoz. I am a primary school teacher. Today we are going to begin our lesson on fractions, a fundamental topic in mathematics. And to start, I'm going to ask you some questions to activate your prior knowledge and motivate you to learn. Okay? Have you ever divided something into parts? What does it mean when something is divided into equal parts? Do you know what a half, a quarter, or a third of something is? This question will help us think about how we use fraction in everyday life. Remember. Now we move on to the next activity and where we will watch a short video about fractions. In this video we explain in a simple way what fractions are, how they are represented, and how we use them. Pay attention because after watching it we will talk about what you have learned.
Fracciones en inglés. In English, we call them as fractions. Let's start. Fraction. Fraction. It is composed by two parts. The upper number, it's called numerator. The lower part is called denominator. But what happens when we have this type of fraction? It is a whole, which in Spanish we know this as un entero. Let's practice with some examples. Can you see this fraction? It is 1/2. As we consider that a whole can be divided into parts, and if we take just one, it would be the half of a whole. Now, it is 1/3, as it refers to the number 3, 1/3. Next, 1/4. 1/5. But be careful with the following one. The numerator in this one is different from the previous part. That's why we put 1. Now it is different. What do you think we are going to do? Yes, now it will be 2. 2/3. Identify the plural at the end. Thirds. 2/3. Now it's your turn. Let's check. 3/4. 3/4. Excellent.
Okay, according to the video, please answer these questions. What is a fraction? How many parts does a fraction have? Who makes up a fraction? Okay, this is the presentation. Now let's move on to the more visual part. I'll be showing a PowerPoint presentation where you'll see examples of fractions represented with picture. For example, you'll imagine you're dividing a picture or a cake. You'll see fractions like a half, a quarter, 3/4, etc. With the colors and pictures, it will be easier to understand what these fractions mean. Okay, this is the presentation. Found fractions. What is a fraction? A fraction names a part of an object. Hurry up, I have a question for you. Are you hungry? Because I ate a quarter of your pizza. It was delicious. This graph represents 5/6. Remember that this is the numerator and this is the denominator. And remember that the denominator cannot be 0, please remember. Okay, this is the practice. It's time to get down to business. You already know what the parts of fractions are. The numerator and the denominator. Remember, to make it clear, here are some 2 practical examples. If we have a cake divided into 4 parts and we take one part, That's 1/4. Remember, if we have a cake divided into 8 parts and we take 3 parts, that's 3/8. If we have a cake divided into 6 parts and we take 5 parts, that's 5/6. Remember. Okay, now we are going to practice with an interactive tool. We will use toy theater fraction models to see how fractions change when we divide different shapes such as circles and rectangles. In this activity, you will identify fraction represent graphically and write them correctly in your notebooks or on a digital document. This will help you consolidate your understanding. Closing, at the end, we will do a collaborative review of what we have learned. Some of you will be able to share your screen or explain out loud the fraction you identified. To finish the lesson, we will play an interactive game on quizzes. In this game, we will answer questions like which is a bigger, a half or a third? How would you grade a fraction from a visual model? This game will help us review and see if we have all understood the concept of fraction well. Finally, through the game on quizzes, I will do a quick assessment to see how well you have learned fractions. Each of you will respond individual and receive instant feedback to reinforce what you have learned. I am sure you will enjoy this lesson and learn a lot. It was a pleasure being here with you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.